Welcome to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast.
My name is Jen Clark.
And I'm Elke Clark. We are a mother-daughter team who started our Zazzle e-commerce businesses over 10 years ago and have sold over $15 million worth and counting of products on Zazzle with our designs on them.
We had so many people asking us how we did this, so we created the Profit by Design Academy, a 12-month coaching program where you will implement the 5 strategies we have used for success on Zazzle.
When we aren't coaching our amazing clients to reach millions in sales on Zazzle, we love cooking food from places all over the world that we've traveled to, jet setting to our next dream destination, spending quality time with our close friends and family, or having fun creating our next bestsellers in our own Zazzle businesses.
In this podcast, we share actionable steps you can take to make money in your online business using Zazzle. Each episode will take you one step closer to creating that perfect business, which will give you the freedom to live your dream life.
We believe that you can have anything you dream of as long as you work smarter, not harder. We're here to give you the tools you need to make your dream life happen. So let's get started. Well, hey there, it's Elke.
I'm Jen, and welcome to another episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. And today we're talking about how to work from home, 6 tips to be productive and stay home.
Stay sane.
Sane.
Yeah, that's, I put that
Stay
in
home and
specifically.
stay sane.
Yeah, well, see, if you stay home and you've got kids all around you and your husband's working from home too, or it's switched and you're the guy and your wife's working from home as well, and you're trying to get your work done. Now, this applies not only to our community where we teach people how to make money online using a platform called Zazzle, and we coach and mentor people to do really well on the platform and create abundance and a life they want. But for anyone who's come to us, welcome. We're Jen and Elke, obviously. And the idea here is that as a person who's worked on the Zazzle platform since 2008, Jen and I have been on this platform for a long time, and we've been working from home for a long time, whether that be home or traveling like Jen, living in Spain for 10 years. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to be productive, especially when wonderful Mallorcan beaches are tempting you. And so we've got some really great tips for productivity that worked for us. We're going to give you 3 of those. And we also have 3 mindset tips that are going to help you stay sane, because now with COVID, especially those, like if it wasn't for COVID and everyone working from home, we would have probably not even put these tips in, right?
Yeah.
But now we're going to cover 3 and 3, and it'll be awesome. It'll help you. There are things that you can take away and use right away. So let's get started.
All right, so the first one is to ensure high productivity without losing efficiency. Take regular breaks. Try using the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes of working and then a 5-minute break. And then you keep going up to 4 times, and then you keep doing that, and then take a longer break and repeat it after or until the workday is over. But the Pomodoro technique is a tomato timer, basically. And I don't know if anyone on this podcast who's listening has heard of that before, but it's basically a 25-minute timer that you put on, and then you say, okay, in these 25 minutes, what am I going to get done? And then after the 25 minutes, I'm going to take a couple minutes break, because a lot of us are very focused on the fact that like maybe we are working so much time and then we don't take a break, or we are not actually being effective during the time that we're working. And then so if you put that timer on and you know that you have 25 minutes, you know that you have 25 minutes to actually accomplish like a certain amount of things, right? And then you're actually like, you're very, you don't have a perspective, but like you're very conceptive, or you're very
you
you have the
concept that in those 25 minutes you either made like accomplish what you did, or realize that you take way longer, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Does that help? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I'm just actually like thinking the word, like what you wanted, like, in those 25 minutes, you have to be very
efficient.
efficient. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like you just don't have forever to do something, right? And then the other thing was that with this, they realized that we do need breaks. As humans, we need breaks. Whereas if you're really determined to do something, you'll go like, I'll work for hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, you aren't efficient after 25 minutes. You actually need to just step away, take a break, stretch, right? But what I like, what Jen said, is that I did this technique and I realized that I didn't get done nearly the amount of work that I thought I'd get done in 25 minutes. And so then it becomes like a game, right? Then you've got the timer on and you go like, but I want to get this done in 25 minutes. So what can I do to do it? And then you go like, okay, so it really helps because I'm a perfectionist. So it really helps in getting rid of that perfectionism because really 80% of the task being done the way you want it, 80% of what you feel is right, is probably even like 100% of what other people expect, right? Especially if you're a perfectionist. And so we kind of give ourselves more work. And this has been a side advantage and a benefit from us trying this technique, not just to be efficient, get stuff done, but to literally start creating a better work habit so that, you know, how people start to learn how to speed read so they can read more. Well, that's what you're doing with your speed efficient. You're making yourself efficiency proficient in terms of getting better and better and better at getting things done faster and faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the show notes, we're going to link to the original person who came up with this technique. It's I can't even, can you say his name? Francisco Ciriello? Or don't pronounce the L's. It's Italian, so I never know if I have to pronounce the L's or not, but we'll give you the link. And there's also a really cool, there's about 5 or 10 free options online where you can just say, you know, tomato timer, and they'll give you like an app or a clock on Google or something like that where you can literally use the functionality online to keep track of your 25 minutes, right? So I've got a link for that as well in the show notes. And then you just go ahead. Jen already said exactly how you should take in charge and do so many sessions and then take a longer break. And so see how it works for you. You don't want to do this like for a full day and go like, oh, it didn't work, because that'd be too much. Just try it for a couple of times first and then work your way up to doing it for a whole day. Okay, next
Okay.
productivity. We have to be efficient, right? Because this is a productivity episode.
Second one is to improve productivity, plan a to-do list and schedule it in advance so that once a scheduled work time starts, you know exactly what needs to be done and you can get right to it.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to say any more of that?
I will repeat it again. I've just got glasses on and I can read the show notes here. It's so bad. But yeah, no, definitely like when you have a list that you need to do, for me, I like writing it down on paper. Some people like writing it down on the computer and having a notes list or whatnot. But you have to have a list of something that needs to get done, right? And I don't know, like maybe this is just my generation, but I remember when I was in high school, I had a calendar and a calendar book and everything. And then as soon as I had a list of something to do, I would write it down. And then when it got done, I would highlight it. So I would mark it off. And then because I highlighted it, it meant that it got done. And for me, that highlighting meant that like
it was like a high five.
Yeah, it was like an accomplishment. It was like,
Yeah.
yes, I did it.
Yeah.
So for anybody who's listening to this podcast, like whatever way you want it to feel good for you, right? And like how it feels good for you to feel like you've done it, then that's what you need to do. But
Yeah.
definitely making lists, whether it be on paper or on on plastic, no, not on plastic, paper or on the phone or on your computer. It's just like you need to have something because it reminds you, and like whenever you open that list up again, it gives you that sense of what needs to be done, right?
Yeah. And the two things in terms of the efficiency, first of all, you've already figured out what needs to be done and you've had that extra time initially to say, okay, is this important or is this not important? And so if it is important, it stays on the list. If it's not important, it gets taken off the list because you don't want like a gazillion item to-do list, right? And some people actually go like, oh, who is it now? Amy Porterfield likes him very much. He has this, oh gosh, how come I can't remember his name? Sorry, we're in the middle of this podcast recording and I can't remember this amazing guy who's really working hard on giving us productivity tools. And basically it says pick 3 things, right? So if you can get the top 3 things done that I'll put in the notes after I figure out what
James Whitmore.
no, not James Whitmore. It's okay. He's got the focus planner and everything else. I just can't remember his name right now, and I should have it in the notes.
Guy on
It's just like
fire.
no, it
Podcast on
was
fire.
just an extra thought here. We weren't actually trying to talk about him, but the idea is that if you even get 3 things done, you're amazing, right? And so pick the 3 things that are going to move your business or your life, whatever you're like trying to get done, forward the most, and then that's going to be the things that are going to make the most sense to put on your list. And it'll also give you that impetus or that a sense of I do need to get these done and the urgency, right? And then also it's worth doing that work because they're important. And so instead of like cracking open your computer or whatever it is that you're doing to get things done, like whatever you need to get done, if it requires being on your computer, for example, then you don't have to sit down and the minute you open your computer, you go like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Right? You can start as soon as that tomato timer goes off, right? You're not wasting that 25 minutes figuring out what you should be doing. Instead, you already know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so next one. Do you want to read this
Okay.
one or should I read this one?
I can read. I think I can read it. I've got my glasses on and
No, it's okay. Yeah.
to cut down on time wasters that you're not aware of, work for 1 week and then monitor honestly what distractions or business tasks you find are a time waster, or take the energy out of what you are doing, big tasks that will move your business forward, right? Then make changes in how you do the task, assign someone to do it else, or stop doing it if it is actually not helping your business move forward. So basically, like if you are procrastinating and you don't want to do the task, then you have to obviously know that the task is necessary for your business. Put it out to somebody else.
That's just something that I didn't realize. I thought I'd do everything by myself. right?
Yeah. No, we've had a lot of coaches sessions where people have said, procrastination is not actually something that you're doing on purpose because you don't want to do something, right? Because when you're in high school, like me, I'm the younger generation, or in like grade school, and you're like, I don't want to do my homework. It's not because you're actually not doing it because you don't want to do it and you're just kind of saying it's not supposed to be done. It's because you actually don't want to do it or can't physically do it or mentally do it when you're older, and let's say like this generation within a business, and you need to actually assign it out to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Because it needs to be done and it needs to be done. But if it's so tasking on you and taking up your energy, your mental and physical energy, you need to just make it somebody else's business. And like that's full forward, like not being rude or anything, but you need to say, hey, this is something that somebody else can do because it needs to be done for my business, but
Yeah.
it's not what I want to do right now.
Yeah. And also you could say, well, the other person's going to take less time because it's their forte.
Yeah.
And you're taking too much time on it because it's not your forte, and you can be spent doing what you are good at doing. Right.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize that. I always just thought I had to do everything myself. And I also just realized that not everything that you think you need to do, you actually need to do.
Yeah.
And so having that ability to step back and assess everything, because we're always trying our best to be efficient and we work hard and we do our best. But then in the end, someone goes, well, you still didn't get this done. And they go, I tried my best. Right.
Yeah.
And so this is one way to see, are you truly procrastinating because you're goofing off because you want to watch Netflix instead? Or is it because you, like Jen said, it's not your forte and really it's taking you a lot more time and someone else could take a lot less time to do it, which means that you're not actually working efficiently, which is what this podcast is all about.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, be truthful with yourself, give yourself some grace and make sure that you can monitor that and then make some really healthy decisions.
Have you heard about the Profit by Design Academy yet?
Are you looking for the perfect online business or side hustle that gives you monthly cash flow so you can live your dream life?
Are you a new or current Zazzle creator who is struggling to figure out how to make Zazzle work for you, worried that you're wasting your time and using the throw spaghetti against the wall to see if it sticks trick method, and unsure about how you can start and scale your Zazzle business?
Then the Profit by Design Academy is a perfect solution for you. you will feel confident, supported, and clear on how you will create a financial abundance side hustle using the Zazzle marketplace.
Imagine having access to the exact 5 strategies that we've used to build our Zazzle business and scale it, which we have sold over $15 million worth of Zazzle products so far with that method.
And that's not just us. We've helped our coaching clients in the Profit by Design Academy sell over $30 million worth of Zazzle products combined.
We invite you to join this incredible coaching experience where you receive the proven roadmap and hands-on support to accelerate your Zazzle business and make your dream of achieving passive income a reality.
Head on over to the show notes to grab the link, and we will see you on the inside. Or go to elkeclark.com/start-and-scale.
Now let's get back to the show.
All right, so those are our 3 productivity tips, and you're going to love them. Take maybe one at a time, work on it for a week, and then implement the next one and the next one. Even if you just take those 3, you'll be in great shape. And I looked it up while Jen was talking. It's Michael Hyatt.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and his full focus planner is amazing, and I'll put the link in for sure into the chat here. And he's the one that talks about doing the 3 things.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 mindset tips to keep sane during the time that you're working at home.
Okay, schedule 1 hour of self-care and not 30 minutes or less, an hour. It takes that long to decompress and truly benefit from the time away from being in the workspace and then thinking about work subconsciously, emotionally, physically, spiritually, on a social aspect. Don't do anything else. Get together with a friend, go for a walk, indulge in a favorite pastime, read a book, journal. Do what you feel good, take a bath or whatever.
Yeah.
Have something that feels good for you, because honestly, working is wonderful and we all want to do work, but at the same point in time, we have to have self-care, right?
Yeah, have to fill that cup back up. Otherwise, ultimately, your efficiency will go down as well if you don't take care of yourself.
So the second one is to set boundaries for yourself and ensure that you have a work-life balance that's aligned with you. Because we have a lot of work that's going on sometimes, and even being our own boss, which is wonderful, and we have a lot of freedoms, we have a lot of things that we're able to do and say yes or no to. We also put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we sometimes overcompensate. So you definitely have to make sure that what you're doing right now is making sense with where you want to go and your path going forward, right?
Yeah, and when we first, or anytime we're working, we want to do the best job ever. And so we forsake all the things that are important to bring to the job, which is you as a person who's physically and mentally ready to be as efficient as possible, right? Whether it's for your own business or for someone else, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create that life balance actually nurtures the work balance, right? And so by setting boundaries, you're telling the person who you're working for or yourself that I do need this recharging. It's like having food, right? You can't go a whole day without eating food. You need food. And so you have a lunch break. Well, this is what you're doing. You're setting those boundaries. You're saying, okay, we're not going to work past this time or whatever. So we've got some tips for you. One is scheduling work when you're most productive, because that's the other thing. It's not just a matter of getting the work done. It's a matter of aligning with when you're most productive, right? So you could spend 3 hours doing it in the morning. And if you're not a morning person and it takes you till noon to wake up because you have to have 4 coffees, I get it. I've been there, done that. And then you shouldn't be working in the morning if you have the option to only work in the afternoon, right? And so make sure that you schedule times when you can, if that's possible, to work only when you're most efficient. Now, if you only work when you're most efficient for an hour a day, that's it, then we've got to increase that range because you still need to get work done. But you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do the next one?
So be honest with yourself and don't schedule things more than the tasks than you actually can accomplish. Like a lot of people, we like to make goals, which is awesome. And we always tell all of our clients that they need to put certain goals going forward, right? But if you don't feel like you're able to accomplish those goals and don't put more on your plate that you can't eat,
Yeah,
I love to put
that's
so
true.
many things in my calendar. And at the end of the day, if I have so many things in my calendar and I
Yeah.
don't actually accomplish them, it's actually defeating to me, right? I feel like I haven't accomplished anything, even though I've accomplished a lot of things, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's true because I've actually seen you do that. Like you
Yeah.
have like a list of 20 things
Yeah.
and she's accomplished about 15 of them and she goes like, "Oh, I never got everything done
Yeah.
today." And it's like, "Yeah, because you got 15 things done."
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
exactly.
And then if you feel overwhelmed, ask if it's time to outsource. And that's what we talked about before, like outsource some roles or tasks for other people to do it for you. And it's not just about procrastination, it's also about just if you physically cannot or mentally cannot do things, right? If you don't have that many hours in the time of day, then you have to get help. And we have a
Exactly.
lot of clients who have actually now hired people because they are working so hard on their Zazzle business, but they can't work on the marketing. They can't work on their Pinterest or Instagram accounts or even their blog or whatnot. And they have actually hired a VA or somebody else who is doing things on top of what they're doing because they're, focused on the other parts of the business. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. And sometimes people actually right now think, oh, I will never be able to hire a VA or it's never going to be possible because that's kind of not in the realm of a Zazzle designer at this point in time. And it's very true. We have had very little clients at this point in time who have moved and stepped into that price, like that point where they say, okay, yes, I need a new person to be on my team because being a Zazzle designer or creator seems like a very one person job, let's
Yeah.
say. And Elke and I are telling people that yes, it's a one person job, but at the same point in time, it's also a multi person job. It's a business. It's not just a hobby. It actually can be something that's much greater than what you think it actually is at this point in time. And so we have had many of our private coaching clients and our mastermind clients who have stepped into that realm and realized, oh, I need people to actually work underneath me or help me and do things that I'm not capable of doing at this point in time because I'm working on the other things. And it's just like stepping into that mindset of being in a business, right?
Yeah, exactly. So actually, we're going to link to the podcast episode we did with one of our top earners, Christine, and she's talking specifically about not only her experience with hiring a VA, but also how to if you're more interested, where to go, what to do, and so on, and how to charge, and what to ask, and how much time is involved in training them, etc. So it's a really great episode. And also, there's going to be a link in here to Upwork, which is one place where you can go find VA help. VA is short for virtual assistant, and basically, it's a nicer term than secretary. It's basically something where it's a task that's pretty easy to do, can be done by anyone who has a computer or whatever, or because virtual assistant. So we're talking computer work here, and it's at a reasonably low salary. It's usually done by task or by the hourly rate, and it's very affordable. So it's something that people forget that they could get help, and it allows you to fill in that setting boundaries option where you can give that work away. Otherwise, you're doing what I call rote work, which means that anybody could do it, and you're not using your energy for the things that are the most important, that are, like Jen said, moving your business forward.
Yeah.
So check out the links and we will put those in the show notes. Okay, so last one for our keeping sane working from home. What do you want? Do you want me to do this one?
Well, it doesn't matter. You can or I can. Whatever.
Okay, go for it then.
Okay, so communicate clear expectations with other people in your home or in your family or circle of friends. This is to help you to not feel guilty when you're working and your friends and family aren't respecting the time and like space, let's say, that you need to reach your business goals, right? A lot of us who are working online, we have a vision, we have a goal, we're doing our thing, but many other people who are in our space, whether that be within our community and friendships and what I just mentioned, is like a lot of them don't understand or get what we are doing. And
Yeah.
we want to definitely give them clear expectations that, hey, this is going to work, or I'm confident of doing this, or give me the respect, or please have faith in me and we'll see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then I messed up, but
Yeah.
don't put me down, support me, and let's go forward. Because a lot of our clients and many people who are in even our Facebook community, which is the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Facebook group, they say that a lot of people don't support them and they don't understand what they are doing, because working online, quote unquote, or even being a creative, quote unquote, is not a real job. And I've had that experience, and Elke's had that experience. And many people relate to us, where when we tell our stories about how our significant others or people who have been in our close circle of family members or whatnot have told us this is never going to work, or because you're not physically working in a real job or an office, or you're not like commuting or whatever it may be to an actual job, it doesn't work. And so you have to actually stand up for yourself. And I don't know what to say, like, not to be rude or whatever, but you have to say that you have to make sure that they understand that, hey,
Yeah.
give me the respect to actually try and make it work. And please look at my perspective, because I think this can work. And
Yeah. And Jen's touched on a really important point, because the initial point was more just to say, hey, like, I do have a real job. And when I'm saying I'm working on the computer, then leave me alone, or, give me the time and respect. It's not that, since I'm on the computer and because we're talking about working from home, that, someone who has an issue because, oh, I can't make myself a sandwich, or the repairman's here, keep communicating that even though I'm accessible at home, I don't need to be disturbed right now because I have important work to do. But then the other thing is that because we're talking about the points that keep us sane, right? Because you're trying to do that part to say, hey, let my mind not constantly focus on being frustrated that people are interrupting me, and also that my work is valuable. And then that leads into what Jen was talking about, where we've had so many instances where people have not thought that our work is as valuable as theirs, whether that's because they're doing a physical job or they're doing some other job that's also on the computer, but they go to an office, but now because of COVID, they're home. And so they think that their job is more important. And this is a touchy subject because it's your spouse, right?
yeah.
But it has to be that way, that not only do they have to respect your time that you're working, the fact that your work is important, but then they also can't bring it to the next level where the things that they say to justify what they've just said, in terms of like, you can be interrupted and not them, or even like take it one step further and make a comment of that your stuff isn't as important. That's mentally an issue, and it's the one that's like, you can see how passionate Jen was. It's happened to all of us, and it's so important that you stand your ground, make clear communications with everyone to say, hey, this job is just as important as the thing that, and you have to hold it to that same respect, and also not allow anyone to put you down to the point where you start not believing in your job because no one else around you believes that your business is going to work, right? And so I don't know if I didn't like overstep, but I just wanted to say that it is a huge one. I know we left it to the last, but it's the one that is going to, it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. If you don't give that respect or don't get that respect, and you have to clearly communicate that respect to start with, like, this is what I need from you because this is the value of this for me. And if you don't, then they just assume with their assumptions what your business is. And then you get mad at them because you haven't actually said it properly. And so they don't know how to respect because they come from a completely different way of thinking about what your online business is unless you clearly communicate what it is and what it means to you.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the end of that episode.
So
Well, we
thank
just
you.
did a really efficient episode.
Thank you for
Excuse me.
listening to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur podcast, and we will see you in the next episode.
Yeah, thanks for listening and watching.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur podcast with us, Jen and Elke Clark.
We hope this episode has given you actionable steps to building your online business that gives you the monthly cash flow you want while working less and living more.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Each review helps us reach more entrepreneurs like you working to create a profitable e-commerce online business.
Follow us on Instagram at Ms. Jen Clark and at Elke Clark, and DM us with your biggest takeaway from today's episode. See you back here next week.